Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. For years, Hope for the Future stood as a beacon of optimism, redemption, and youthful passion on the bold and the beautiful. It symbolized not just Hope Logan's fashion vision, but her identity, her relationships, and her moral compass. But as the tides shift in Los Angeles and the legacy of Forrester Creations evolves, it's time to ask a controversial but necessary question. Should Hope's fashion line stay gone for good? In this detailed creative breakdown, we'll explore 3 compelling reasons why Hope for the Future might be better left in the past and how its cancellation could lead to exciting new drama, deeper character arcs, and a bold new chapter for the Forrester empire. For years, Hope Logan's life has been defined by hope for the future. From its eco-friendly messaging to its modest aesthetic, the line reflected the good girl image that defined Hope for much of her early adult life. But in recent storylines, we've witnessed a more complex and conflicted Hope, a woman tempted by Thomas Forrester, torn between her ideals and her desires, and no longer content to be everyone's moral compass. With Hope for the Future now shelved indefinitely, this is the perfect opportunity for Hope to evolve personally and finally step out of the shadow of her mother, Brooke Logan. Imagine a storyline where Hope embraces boldness, both in life and in fashion. Maybe she starts consulting for a rival fashion house or launches a daring, avant-garde label that reflects her new self. The removal of Hope for the Future is not a defeat, it's an open door to Hope's reinvention. Her character arc can pivot from playing safe to taking risks in love, family, and business. Plus, without the burden of carrying her own line, Hope would be freed up to explore new rivalries and unexpected alliances, maybe even finding herself in direct competition with Steffy, in a way that goes beyond love triangles and into the cutthroat fashion battlefield. Once upon a time, Hope for the Future gave the bold and the beautiful a breath of youthful, socially conscious air. It was the antidote to Forrester's sexy lingerie line Brooke's Bedroom and represented a brand with principles. But the current canvas of the show has evolved beyond idealism. It's a landscape of power plays, passion, and shifting alliances. Frankly, Hope for the Future feels like a relic of a more innocent time. In a world where Steffy and Ridge are making cutthroat decisions to protect the family legacy, and where Thomas walks a delicate line between genius and obsession, there's little room for a brand that's all about positivity and inner virtue. Today's audience craves higher emotional stakes, dramatic betrayals, and moral ambiguity, not recycled messages about self-worth and environmental fabrics. And let's not forget, HFTF was failing financially. Despite Thomas' brilliance on the design front, the line consistently needed saving. Whether it was last-minute fashion shows, emotional pleas to Ridge, or tense boardroom votes, the brand's survival was always hanging by a thread. Isn't it time to let the line die gracefully? By eliminating HFTF permanently, the show opens space for more daring creative ventures, cutthroat competition between designers, hello Zende versus Arahota, and allows the narrative to shift toward storylines that reflect the present moment. Complicated relationships, intergenerational clashes, and high-stakes business battles. Reason 3. Forrester Creations needs a shakeup and HFTF was holding it back. Let's be brutally honest. Hope for the Future was not just Hope's emotional anchor, was also a major source of creative stagnation at Forrester Creations. Every few months, the line became a source of endless office drama, budget issues, personnel debates, and desperate attempts to justify its existence. Boardroom scenes started to feel like reruns. Ridge and Steffy debating whether the line had value, Thomas stepping in to rescue the designs, Hope getting emotionally tied to whether or not her work had meaning, over and over again. Now that the line is gone, Forrester Creations has a rare opportunity to reboot its brand identity. Think about the potential storylines: Zende versus RJ to Next Generation, Forresters battling for dominance and creative control, Steffy launching a new bold couture division focused on cutting-edge fashion, Thomas finally getting a second chance with his own signature line, but on the condition that he proves he can stay emotionally and professionally stable without HFTF dragging down resources and creative energy. The doors are wide open for dynamic fashion feuds, business rivalries, and character growth. Plus, let's talk about the fans. Many longtime viewers have voiced fatigue over HFTF's constant the line never had a consistent identity. It flipped between eco-conscious, romantic modesty, edgy Thomas brilliance, and vague message-based campaigns. There was no long-term direction. Killing the line for good might finally allow the bold and the beautiful to return Forrester Creations to its former Gloria powerhouse of high fashion and high drama. Not a revolving door of failing idealistic collections. What this could mean for Hope Logan's future. Removing hope for the future doesn't have to mean removing Hope Logan from the spotlight. In fact, it can elevate her now free from the professional burden of her brand. Hope could explore darker, more mature storylines perhaps. A revenge arc after feeling betrayed by Steffy and Ridge, team up with an unexpected ally like Eric, Donna, or even a rival company Spectra, Revival, anyone, to re-establish her place in fashion but on her terms. Face a personal crisis. Who is Hope without her line? Does she even know? That internal exploration could lead to some of the richest emotional storytelling the show has seen in years. And, let's not ignore the romantic stakes. Without the excuse of working together on HFTF, what becomes of Hope and Thomas? Does the loss of their creative bond fracture their romance or force them to confront whether it was ever real at all? Does Hope go back to Liam? Does she become a single, fierce businesswoman? Or does she spiral into something darker? The possibilities are endless when Hope's story isn't shackled to a floundering brand. With hope for the future gone, and Thomas potentially being recruited to Steffi's team, imagine Hope spiraling into a subtle villainous transformation. Years of being overlooked. Her line discarded. Her love life in chaos. What if Hope launches a competing line in secret? What if she seduces a high-powered investor, maybe even someone like Bill Spencer's, just to fund her comeback and get back at the Forresters? This could be the most shocking character arc of the decade on B&B Hope. Once the show's innocent heart, becoming the ultimate power player. Maybe she even manipulates RJ and Luna into working for her and causes a major fracture within the family. That's the type of story that grabs attention, wins Emmys, and gets fans talking. We'll always appreciate what Hope for the future represented. It was a dream, a vision, a part of Hope Logan's soul. But the time has come to evolve. Both Hope and the show need to step forward into something sharper, messier, and far more compelling. Letting go of Hope for the future isn't the end, it's just the beginning of something bold.